And then the if you have Hulu, like the premium version, I'm sure you can watch it without the ads. But if you want to watch at least the first season without ads, you can watch it through the Stars app.
So I'm going with the Hulu theme. This Fool. It stars Chris Estrada, excuse me, Michelle Ortiz, Frankie Quineros, and Michael Imperioli. It follows the main character, Julio, who lives in South Central LA and works at a non-profit helping ex-convicts kind of get back on their feet. And his cousin, who gets out of jail after being in jail for over 10 years, is he's going to try to get him back on his feet as well. So I watched the first episode. It's funny. But yeah, it's cool. I definitely enjoyed that first episode, and especially if you're brown, you'll get all the jokes and Easter eggs.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you guys checked that out yet?
I've seen the trailer, especially watching my rec. The commercials or the ads are definitely like plastered all over that. But yeah, I was cracking up when I first saw the trailer for that. It was hilarious. The birthday, I think it's like a birthday scene or something, and he's like freaking out. But yeah, if you've seen the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I hadn't seen the actual show, but the trailer had me dying, so I definitely want to check that out.
And then my second rec, since Wes kind of shamed me last week, I finally checked out Paper Girls on Amazon Prime. It is awesome. It was just the first episode, but the first episode is, if you're a fan of the comics, it's literally like the very first issue. It's crazy. There's tons of stuff going on. But it's awesome. The attention to detail in the show from the comics is awesome. Like even down to like the way the girl's hairstyle is, to what they're how they look and what they're saying is incredible. So yeah, if you haven't checked that out, don't be shamed by Wes and go and check it out. I had the opportunity to go see Barbarian Tuesday in Santa Monica. Doesn't come out until September. It's written and directed by Zach Kreger, who, if you love The Whitest Kids You Know, he stars in it. He wrote and directed it. And it stars Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin Long. I will not say anything about it other than if you're looking forward to it as much as I was, you're going to love it. And go into it just watching the trailer. Mute everything on social media. Don't watch reviews. Don't look into things. Don't watch. If they drop another trailer, do not watch it. It was one of the only theater experiences I've ever had where people were laughing, screaming, yelling. It is fucking insane. I cannot fucking say more good things about it than that. Yeah, it's just fucking crazy. Go check it out. It's a 20th Century Fox, so it's a fucking Disney movie. So as you're watching it, just, keep that in the back of your head that it is a Disney movie. And it's a movie that's meant to be seen on the big screen with a huge group of people. Yes, shout out fucking Beyond Fest and American Cinema Q for putting on that screening. It was fucking awesome.
Okay, so I wanted to give some love to the director of our main focus tonight, Dan Trachtenberg, who his first feature film was 10 Cloverfield Lane. It came out in 2016, and it's got a well-deserved 90 on Rotten right now. Stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, John Goodman, and John Gallagher Jr. Crazy, super intense, claustrophobic film. Super... how do you say, like, it revolves around paranoia, and John Goodman's so fucking good in this. Everybody's top shelf for a PG-13 movie, especially for that year, or just like within the last 10 years, I don't think there's very many that are able to do and create the kind of atmosphere and tension that this does with that kind of rating. You know what I'm talking about?
Definitely fucking. It's crazy that was the first movie he directed.
Yeah, that's well. We haven't talked about Prey yet, but so Prey is just only his second feature.
Yeah,
he directed the pilot for The Boys, which is insane. So he's obviously talented, and it's just crazy that he hasn't done more. But I guess it's because he was working on Prey for like 6 years, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, John Goodman in that is fucking perfect. Like should have been nominated for everything.
And it works because you know him for being like the big teddy bear guy, and then he's not. Shout out to Atlas, who looks like brown John Goodman. So.
Damn it, Wes. No, every time I fucking see him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
Okay, so this week we're talking about Prey. It's rated R. It's a sci-fi action period piece. It runs at 1 hour and 39 minutes, and it's got a 93 on Rotten. Written by Patrick Asen, directed by Dan Trachtenberg, starring Amber Midthunder, Dakota Beavers, Stormy Kipp, Bennett Taylor, Julian Antelope, and Dane DeLegro, aka The Predator. Prey aims to reestablish its brand with a prequel film that takes us back nearly 300 years, taking place in the northern Great Plains and putting us in the perspective of a young Comanche woman named Naru, who is trying desperately to prove her skills as a hunter rather than embracing a more traditional role as a caregiver with her tribe. Eventually, she realizes that her people face danger in multiple ways, with frontiersmen and a creature not of this world quickly closing in. The concept of Prey had first started being fleshed out in 2016 by director Dan Trachtenberg and writer Patrick Asen, but was actually put into motion while Shane Black's ill-fated sequel entitled The Predator was being promoted in 2018. The production was kept in secret, and the original idea was to release the film with no clues to its roots, being tied to the Predator franchise. However, these plans ultimately changed because of a leak of information during the year of 2020. Beautifully shot by Jeff Cutter in Calgary, Alberta, Canada in 2021, the film oozes authenticity, which can be tracked back to one of the film's producers, Jahan Myers, being a member of the Comanche Nation. The film premiered at our own San Diego Comic-Con on July 21st, 2022, and then officially dropped on Hulu as an original film on August 5th. Prey's digital release has garnered high praise from most and is known as one of the best sequels to be released since the 1987 original. That might seem like the project's being overhyped, but if you are familiar with the Predator's sloppy history, then the news should be welcomed with open arms. The representation of indigenous people and the filmmakers using a female as the protagonist breathes new life into the otherwise dying property. What is most impressive about this piece is its willingness to understand what made the original work and capitalizing on all of those same beats. The cinematography is breathtaking, showing us the scope of the land, with the atmosphere building up into an intense and ultimately satisfying bookend to an unconventional coming-of-age period drama, which blends sci-fi, action, and body horror in the most effective way possible. Catch Prey now streaming on Hulu or Disney Plus, depending where you live. Thank you. All right, James, what made you pick Prey? And I wanted to put a little spoiler warning right here. If you haven't seen the movie yet, put this on pause, go check it out. If you don't like spoilers, because we're going to get into that territory, it's inevitable. This is a brand new movie. If you haven't seen it, get out from under your rock and go watch it. All right.
Yes, definitely. But for me, I think I want to do this because I felt like it was such a refresh. Watching it when I got done, or even while I was watching, I was like, man, this is such a refreshing take on the Predator series or franchise, and I feel like it definitely revitalized that franchise as well with this new story and the way it was, just the way the whole thing was shot and everything. I feel a hot take here right off the bat. I feel like this may be this is, to me, I think it's probably better than the first one. I don't know. I hot take here for me. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like I said before, we're probably going to go through a lot of the highs and lows of the Predator franchise while talking about this as well. But I really enjoyed this one. It was really cool just to go into that time period and see that happen, and then to learn that they actually had the actual cast, or the ones who spoke in the film. They had them do the audio for a Comanche dub, which I thought was so cool, and keeping it very close to their culture, and that's why I think that's pretty awesome. We get little bits and pieces of it throughout the film, and then there's one thing that I tried to do throughout the when I was watching it. When they would speak in Comanche, I would go to subtitles and try to. I didn't know if that was gonna break it down for me and tell me what they were saying. But it doesn't. It just says in Comanche, and then it says the words that they're saying. So I'm like, okay, I have no idea what they're saying, but it still makes it so much cooler because you're kind of pulled into that. And I think we're getting into that phase now. Not a phase, but we're getting into that time where I feel like women are being more portrayed as like stronger. And I think that's been well overdue. And I think they do a good job in showing you that, this is kind of one of those movies where if you're a female, you don't have to fit into this role that you've been given, that you're supposed to have, quote unquote, for society's purposes. But yeah, I love this movie. I've watched it 2.5 times now already. So definitely a fun one. Tons of action, like I said, and the new take on the Predator. And I know from things I've been reading since I've watched this, there's multiple species of Predators. So I know a lot of people are confused about why this guy looks so much different than the original compared to that, and then compared to like the ones from Predators, things like that. But yeah, I'm super stoked. Hopefully, I don't know if there's a sequel in the works for this. I'm not sure if I want a sequel just for this one. I think maybe an anthology type of direction, I think is a better way for them to go if they want to try to keep this franchise going. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this one?
I've only seen it once, but that first watch through, at the end I was kind of like, my jaw was on the floor of how much I enjoyed it. And like you said, just it breathes so much new air and life into the franchise. And it's crazy to think that the franchise has been around for so long. And like, I'm right there with you, where I think that this is the best one.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad I feel like I feel better now that I'm not just by myself with that.
I know, I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit more later. I do like the first one, but this one absolutely kills it. Like, if you watch this movie, and it's a lot like a lot of the other movies that are coming out, like Halloween and getting revisited, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, things like that. If you can look me in the eye and tell me that this movie is not as good as the first one or any of them, you're just a hater. Like,
right.
There's like a part where you have to kind of step back and kind of say, okay, I like that movie, or I like that TV show